Get ready for a quick quest guide for the Big Chompy Bird Hunting Quest, in which the main rewards for completing are an ogre bow and ogre arrows, as well as the ability to earn feathered chompy bird hats by killing lots of chompies. You'll also earn a small amount of cooking, ranged, and fletching experience and 2 quest points. While there are no quest requirements, when it comes to skills, you'll need to have level 30 ranged and 30 cooking, as well as level 5 fletching. Then in terms of items, you'll want an axe, about 100 feathers, a chisel, a knife, and 4 wolf bones. I would also recommend bringing along the following 6 items, but note that they can be found nearest to the quest area. These include an onion, a cabbage, a tomato, a potato, some equa leaves, and some dougal leaves. On top of this, it can help to have a stamina potion for running around, as well as potentially some ranged armor and food for tanking some aggressive level 53 ogres and level 64 wolves. If you don't have fairy rings unlocked, then I would also recommend a Feldip Hills teleport scroll to help you get to the rather remote quest start location. Now you can begin this quest in the northeastern area of Feldip Hills. Using a Feldip Hills teleport scroll will see you just need to run a little northeast to get to the quest start, though if you have fairy rings unlocked, the AIP ring code will land you just west of the quest start, and overall the fairy ring is a little bit closer. As a last resort, you can also use a ring of dueling to teleport to Castle Wars and then run southeast. To begin the quest, talk to Rance, and after a bit of chatter, select yes to officially start the quest. Next, you'll want to chop down the 3 achy trees that are just to your southwest. Once you have some logs, then use your knife on the logs to make ogre arrow shafts. Afterwards, use your feathers on the shafts to turn them into flighted ogre arrows. Next, use your chisel on your wolf bones to create wolf bone arrow tips. And finally, use the arrow tips with the flighted ogre arrows to create ogre arrows. Next, use your ogre arrows on Rance to hand 6 of them to him. And then you'll need to go through all 5 of the dialogue options with Rance. First ask, how do we make the chompies come? And afterwards ask, what are fatsy toadies? Then ask, where do we put the fatsy toadies? And follow this up with, what do you mean, sneaky sneaky stick the chompy, before finally saying, okay thanks, to finish up. Next, you'll want to run north to the nearby cave entrance and go inside. Run north in the cave and chat to either of the 2 ogres named Bugs or Feisty inside, and then skip through the chat. Then go to the northwestern part of the cave and choose to unlock the locked ogre chest. Keep selecting to unlock it until you successfully remove the rock that sits atop it. Once it's open, search the chest and select to take an ogre bellows from inside. Now run south back out of the cave, and then continue running southwest to the bubbling swamp. And you'll ideally want to position yourself on the western side of it, where you're much safer from being attacked. Now either use your ogre bellows with a part of the swamp that's bubbling, or click on the bubbles and select to suck the swamp bubbles, which gives your bellows 3 charges. Next, click on 3 of the nearby swamp toads and select to inflate them, which will provide you with 3 bloated toads in your inventory. And once you have 3 of them in your inventory, then you'll want to run east all the way back to Rance. Firstly, make sure that you have at least around 5 arrows remaining, and if you don't, then chop down an achy tree and make some more. Afterwards, chat to Rance and spacebar through the dialogue, and then run south to the flashing arrow. Drop 2 of your bloated toads down around where the arrow is flashing, and afterwards run north back to Rance and chat to him, whereby he will suggest that you now need to wait for the chompy to appear. And note that it can take a little while for the chompy to actually appear, so you might need to be a little patient here. After it appears, Rance will fire an arrow at it and then blame the arrows that you made because he can't admit that he's just bad with a bow and arrows. After you see Rance miss, chat to him and say, come on, let me have a go. And then follow this up by saying, I'm actually quite strong, please let me try, to then receive the bow. If you're fast enough, the chompy that Rance attacked will still be around and you can defeat it, but if it's not, then place your 3rd bloated toad down, and then when another chompy bird spawns, you'll want to defeat it with the ogre bow and arrows. After you've killed the bird, you'll then want to pluck it and then grab the raw chompy, before then returning back to Rance and speaking with him. He will then tell you to cook it, and he will also let you know what ingredient out of the 6 possible options he wants. Afterwards, wizards run north back into the cave and speak with both Bugs and Vicey, and they'll let you know which ingredients they want with their Chompy Bird. Provided that you have all of the ingredients, run back outside the cave and just a little south of the entrance will be an Ogre Spit Roast. Use the Chompy on the Ogre Spit Roast and the 3 required ingredients will automatically be used up when you cook it. If you don't have the required ingredients, then they can be obtained from the nearby area, and I'll pop a map up on screen now revealing all of their locations. After you have the seasoned Chompy, then run a tad south and chat to Rance. Spacebar through the chat and bam, quest complete. You will be awarded an Ogre Bow and Ogre Arrows, as well as the ability to earn feathered Chompy Bird hats by killing lots of Chompies. You'll also receive a small amount of cooking, ranged, and fletching experience, as well as 2 quest points. Thanks for watching, catch you in the next quest!